Welcome back to our adventure sailing to Aberffrau. So far, we'd managed to navigate down the Menai Straits, through the Abermenai channel, and celebrated our arrival in the Irish Sea. In this episode, we'll make the final leg across the Irish Sea to Aberffrau. This leg of the journey takes us from the southwest cardinal marker through the open Irish Sea and on to the beach at Aberffrau, where we spend a wonderful night in the tidal river behind the rocks. So join me and my friends and Lulu, my faithful Drascombe Lugger, of course, as we make our way to Aberffrau, as we explore and camp for the night.
We've got the tiller pilot going again. We're on a sort of a beam reach. If we look at the flag, wind's coming from sort of over here. We're barely beating, we're really on a beam reach. Tried to get the sails set as best as I can, but as soon as I put the sails up, the wind sort of died on us. So you can see we're not really losing too much ground ahead of us. And as long as we're beam reaching, I can just keep her on this course, which, yeah, she's doing quite well on the course. The only thing I'm worried about is this way. That way sounds good, that way doesn't. Yeah, something not quite right with that. I think I need to talk to Simrad, see if we can get that sorted. There's something not quite right with it, isn't there? But we'll see.
There wasn't much wind, but we were making progress, and more importantly, keeping up with the other two boats.
Glorious day again, sunshine, sun shining again. Glad I put my sun cream lotion on. It's nice to be on the bow of the boat here, actually, just chilling with someone else steering. There's rain coming in over there. Judging from our wind, it should go down that way and shouldn't come over us, but it's definitely rain, isn't it? A little rainfall. Now, what normally happens in front of rainfall is a little squall or two. So here, there's not much going on, is there? But over there, we'll just keep our eye on that. If that gets closer, then we need to think about the sails. We've got everything set, we're just motor sailing. We were doing like under 1 knot, so now we're doing 3 and a bit knots. So again, we just don't want to lose too much ground. I can just feel the spits of this rain on my arms.
The rain squall was definitely getting a little bit closer.
Yeah, I thought it might be a bit of spray, but there's hardly any spray. So just keep our eye on it again. It seems to be getting bigger and a bit closer.
Hopefully, it would bring a little bit more wind for us.
I can feel a bit of a breeze as well, so it's bringing a bit of a breeze with it. Might give us a little hand to try and catch up. I've also noticed our speed has just increased by about 1/2 knot. One thing I did notice was we just seemed, I don't know what it was, I just felt like it doesn't feel like we've got the tide with us, is what I'm trying to say. I've just been looking at Savvy, and it's got a really good tide button. You can press it, and you may just be able to see the tide here. It's 1:33, so I can show you on here later, hopefully. But you can see, look, we're now on a falling tide, and it's ebbing round. So as the tide falls, it will come out. So where we've been here, it'll give us tide here. But Anglesey is a very funny place. What happens is the tide will be going this way, but also will be coming around here as it ebbs out from the UK or from Liverpool. So we're now against the tide. One of the great things about Savvy Navvy I've noticed is you can tap on anywhere and it will give you a tide or current, you know, tidal flow. You don't have to look for a diamond, and what it just tells you which diamond it's from. It's better to go this way round, I don't know. Hope you can see that. So yeah, we're actually sailing directly into a 0.4 knot tide now, or current, tidal flow, but we're still making 3.6 knots headway, course over ground. And it's really cool this, it shows you where the tides are going to be at the lowest. So 12:10, yeah, we're going to hit low tide, it's going to be 1.1 meters, and it's going to be at about 1550 here. So if we went here, let's for instance say, let's go over here to Conway, tap on there, and then look at the tidal data here. It's just catching up. You'll see low tide in Conway is 1.5 meters and 1720. So it's a good 2 hours after. So it's really good this. It's really good. And I like the I quite like the simplicity of this app. The weather is a bit touch and go, but actually the wind is correct now. But I think all wind and weather apps are a bit touch and go, aren't they? It's just the nature of things. Let's have a look at tides again, because I think the tide has just got a little bit faster. We don't want it at 16:10, we want it now. So it's 13, there you go, now it's here. Yeah, 0.6 knots tide now, which is why our speed has dropped a little bit. So maybe pep the engine up a tickle. Let's do that now. See if we can just get that speed up a tickle. Don't need much. There we go. Wind is across the tide, and there is not much wind, and there hasn't been much wind, so there's no wind over tide to worry about. We're going to try a little bit of wing on wing, because that's what the guys are doing in front of us.
The wind had backed slightly. It was about a westerly wind, but had now backed to be more of a south or even southeasterly wind. So we tried to run with the wind on our backs.
Sail, fill out, don't let us down. There's so little wind it can hardly get past here.
I was fast learning on this trip that the lugger did not like to run. Without a boom, it's very hard to maintain a mainsail shape and to present the whole sail to the wind.
Just go this way a little, try and get this to fill. Oh no, so there we go.
We struggled on, trying to find what little wind there was and to get it on our back.
I don't think we lost much ground on the guys in front though doing this, so Just goes to show how little wind there really is. Come around again. Let's try and get this.
Eventually, we find it.
Yeah, I can see they're changing course a little. Just need to go a little bit further out, so we're about 310 degrees. There we go. Oh, there's so little wind. It's all good fun though. Little fishing boat just coming across our bow. Ah, now that is my radio, and it works on AIS. And it's telling me there's a collision alarm. Now, that's pretty cool, isn't it? But we don't really want that going off. You know, if I was a big motor vessel or a yacht or something, yeah, probably that would be good. You know, where I'd need loads of warning. But when you're a dinghy and you're sailing, you know, quite close to other boats, you don't want that going off all the while. So I'm gonna, when we stop tonight, I'm gonna find out how we sort of maybe make that a little bit tighter at least, so it's like 10 meters away maybe. There's a really big sail ship right out there. It looks big from here and it's like miles away, I think. Here's that little green buoy that we're talking about. I don't think it's named, this buoy. It's there. Oh, I've got a little bit of wind actually. Just checking, we are passing it now, so we're not going to drift onto it. So.
The wind died, and once again we were motored. Aberffrau Bay was also upon us, so we had to prepare the boat for beaching.
So the engine's back on. We were just, there's no wind. I mean, we're motoring and there's no blooming wind. So we're going to try and catch them up again, and we're going to come into this bay. I'm not so comfortable with the tide and trying to get in there. Well, I'm comfortable, but it's going to take us hours. They can point so much higher, so we're going to motor. No shame in a bit of motoring. Just turn that down a tickle. You can tell the tide's against us when we motor because we're only managing to get sort of 4 knots. We'll try that again, see how much we can get. About 4.5, 4.6. 4.7, maybe we'll do that. It's testament to how well we were sailing, I guess, that we were getting about 1.5 knots against a 0.6 knot tide. So, yeah, that's a testament to how good we were perhaps sailing, but we were losing too much ground and we need to catch them up. Lobster pots ahoy! Whoa, look at all those blooming, I think they're all lobster pots. All those little markers. Either that or it's rocks, and I don't know, but need to keep a wide berth from those. Sails are back up. I mean, if I've caught everyone up. It didn't take long because everyone's moving at snail pace. And you can see how that wanderer is able to just drift with the sails like that. It's because she's got a boom and they can push the sail right out. We've got to bear off a little bit to get any wind certainly into the jib. I've also got all 3 sails up, so the mizzen can steal a little bit of the wind. There's a nice swell coming in, look at that one. Like the odd rogue wave, isn't it? And again. There we go. And we're headed for St George's Channel, which is somewhere dead ahead of us. It's with 3:30, which is where are we? St George's Channel is well, I think it's here. Yeah, Aberffrau. That's right. Apparently, there's a good pub up here. So looks like. Yeah, it looks like we've beached a boat. So it looks like we're going to be beaching here. Ooh, I hope it's going to be okay. There's a few people on the beach.
It was time to furl all the sails once more, drop the outboard, and head for the beach.
Right, they're on the beach, and it was a bit leery, to be honest with you. So I've got everything out. Centreboard's up, rudder is out, and we're going to go in and we're going to try and beach the boat without hopefully damaging my outboard. And I've got someone coming out to help now, so I don't know how to do this, whether to just razz it up. I've got a painter on the front. There we go. Yeah, everything's done. So I'll get to the back and just keep it square. What was that?
Another hour of falling tide.
Yeah.
So we'll have some lunch. And then as the tide comes in, we'll walk them further in.
Okay.
Did you see the seal just off there?
No. Oh.
He was too far away to take a picture. Kept yelling, can you see the river? I'm like, what's he going on about?
Oh, is that a river?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He said it used to come down well where those people are. That's obviously the deepest channel, you know. That'll be a bit, I reckon. There's a big one there, might surfing on that if he gets that far.
So I'll try and get as close as I can.
We made it to the beach safe and sound. Lulu took it in her stride. We had about an hour before the tide turned, so plenty of time for a swim and an explore.
There we are, 1, 2, 3. You can see the water streaming out. So I think we've got 1 hour of ebb tide left. I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head. And then we start to flood. And what we're going to do when it starts to flood is actually, this turns into a river. And apparently we're going to poodle up this, see how far we can go. Which will be quite exciting, won't it, actually? A beautiful evening. We're, look at this. Sun's sort of lost its power now. Oh, that water's beautiful and warm, but oh, here it's a bit warmer, yeah. But as soon as you get in the sea, it's a bit colder. But I thought it'd be very rude not to be by a lovely beach on a summer's day and not to have a little bit of a swim, or at least a little paddle in the sea. Welsh paradise, nonetheless. It's beautiful here though, being serious. Water in the UK is always going to be cold. I mean, that's just the facts of life. It's going, oh, it's up to the belly button. Whoa, that's cold. Oh, it's a bit cold. Very refreshing though, after a day on the boat in the sun. There were quite a few jellyfish in Menai Straits actually. I can't remember if I took a video of them, but there doesn't seem to be any here, thank God. I've got to my knees and I'm going to take a wave when it comes. Here we go. Oh God. Woo! Oh, it's cold. Oh, it makes you wonder if you fell in, you know, out there. Oh God, here's another one. Oh my God. Oh, what am I like? Here's another one. Coming here. Biggie. Oh, it gets easier every time. You can see the tide is getting quite close to the boats actually. I'd say, I think we've got about an hour before it reaches them, but I'd say a bit less actually. Oh, once you're in, it's not too bad. I've just walked out a little bit further, just beyond the breakers, but it's still a little bit shallow to swim. But oh, I'll tell you what, just getting under the water is quite refreshing. It can be quite hot and sticky on a boat, you know, you can be, you know, depending on what tack you're on, you can be in the glaring sun all day, you know, or for extended periods. Which is why it's important to have your sun cream on. So we just need to be on the boats when the tide hits them, so we can kind of control them, I guess. It's all learning for me. That was a big one. Oh, this is glorious. All right, here's another one.
Swimming in the sea was certainly really refreshing. But I wanted to explore before the tide came in.
Loads of little rock pools here. Just feel how, oh, that's really warm, lovely and warm that is. It looks like a world all of its own, doesn't it, in there? Be underwater soon. It looks like a barren wasteland. Look at this. Looks like something out of a set of 1960s original Star Trek, doesn't it? Look, got Captain Kirk and that alien like running around here. Just see Lulu from behind that rock. Right on the top now. There's the guys down there. You may just be able to see them peeping through those rocks. And here we've got some grass. But in this case, it may also just be a seat. Let's look round the other side, see if there's anything on it. No, another seat. Can't win them all. So that's the beach we were on, out down there. And round here is, when you see this, you actually start to understand there is a river here. It's just extremely tidal. So you can see like the river bank running along here, winding up there. Now there's a little village there, and that's where the pub and whatever is. I don't know how far up the sea goes. It looks like there's a water line sort of along here, so I don't know where we're going to camp. There's the boats. You can see how close the tide is to Lulu now. So I think we came this way, so I'm going to climb back down and I'm going to sort of mention this, because I think it may be time to start thinking about getting back. So obviously Lulu's going to float first, and she's not far off floating, but apparently just going to walk the boats up. We're not going to motor, or I thought we were going to maybe stay here and then float up, but no, we're just going to sort of bring them up. But we're going to probably want to get past any, breaking waves, so we're sort of behind them. Or at least I hope we're going to be doing that anyway.
The river flooded, and we found the perfect camping spot. First, as true Englishmen, we went on the hunt for beer.
We are in the Aberffrau town hall because the pub has the pub is closed. So there's a very kind gentleman is offering Norman some beers for a price.
Unfortunately, the pub had closed down permanently. But we managed to buy some off a really kind gentleman who'd overbought for a wedding the next day. So with beer in hand, we walked back to camp.
We've shut up camp for the night. Norman and Joe over there. Mark, me, and my new little tent from Decathlon. The tide's coming in at a rate of knots here now. I mean, I'm up to my stomach trying to wade out there. So I hope I've got everything.
Next time, we make our way home. Sailing back through the Abermenai channel, and round to the anchorage in the Menai Strait, where we have to wait for the tide to turn. before making it back home to the north.